Hello, I'm Antoine, and in this video I'm going to cover how to set up the how to set up planet gravity using the Ninja character plugin for Unreal Engine. So once you create a third-person project, the first thing you should do is go to plugins and just search for Ninja character, and you'll need to make sure that that's enabled. If you don't see it there, you'll need to get it from the Unreal Engine Marketplace and install it to whatever version of Unreal Engine you're using. And then you'll just click that and you'll need to restart the engine. Okay, once that, inside the third person BP folder, I just created a Planet Gravity tutorial folder. And we're going to create a new blueprint class. I'm going to start by making a game mode based on game mode base. This is just going to be Planet Gravity Game Mode. Right now we're just going to create all of the blueprints. So the next one we need is the Ninja character, and it will show up in the bottom. This is just going to call this base character BP. And then we need one more. It's going to be an actor that we're going to call Gravity Bounds BP. So the first thing we're going to do is set up the Planet Gravity game mode, and all we really need to do here is change the default pawn class to base character BP and change the player controller to Ninja player controller BP. Okay, that is done. And while we're doing this, we may as well start setting up the level. And we just need to create a new default level, and we're going to switch to we're going to world settings and change the game mode override to Planet Gravity game mode. And just hit save current and I'm just going to call mine Planet Gravity map. And I'm just going to save mine where I'm saving everything else. Okay, next we need to go into base character BP. Go to defaults and click capsule rotates control rotation. Make sure that's checked. Then we need to go to character movement component, and we need to enable align component to gravity. Next we should probably put a mesh in. Then we should add a spring arm and a camera. Then we should also add the controls. We're just going to go back to third person BP and click on blueprints and third person character. And we don't need everything. We're just going to copy movement input, mouse input, and jump. I'm going to try to select it all. Okay, now I go back to this and do that. Let me see if I can resize this window. Okay, next we need to create a new function. We're just going to call this set gravity. Now we need to add an input that will be center of gravity. This will be the new point that we're setting the gravity to. It needs to be a vector type. Okay, then we want to get a character movement. We're going to drag off it and cast to Ninja character movement component. There's probably more efficient ways to do this, but I'm just trying to keep it simple. Then we want to drag off the as Ninja character movement component and set point gravity direction. We just need to drag that into there. Okay, now the base character BP should be done. We'll confirm that later. And now inside the planet gravity, we need to go to gravity bounce BP, and we're going to add a sphere collision component, and we're going to name it bounds. Okay, now we need to go and create a new function, and it's going to be called isInsideBounds. Okay, we need to have an input. This one's going to be an actor object reference. Basically, it's going to be a placeholder for the whatever actor you're putting in. In this case, it's the base character BP. Okay. Next, we want to get the return node, and we just need to return a boolean. We're just going to call it isInsideBounds. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. We want that on output, not input. isInsideBounds. And let's put a question mark at the end. Okay, we need to get actor location from dragging off of the actor that we input. We want to make sure we split the structure pin. We're just going to copy and paste that to get the location of the gravity bounds BP, and then we need to subtract the player location from the gravity bounds location, and we're just going to do that for all 3 dimensions. And then we need to square each of them. And then we're going to add them together. We need to add a pin. Okay, now if this is less than bounds, and we want to drag off that and get sphere radius. Just going to drag into that and return that. And then we should go back and click on that and check pure, because we're not changing anything or continuing off this node. It's just supposed to return whether the whatever you pass in is inside or outside of the bounds. Okay, so next we need to create the set players gravity function, and that's just going to be set players going to be that. Then we want to get all actors of class, and we're going to grab our base character BP. This is just to make sure that we're changing the gravity for all our actors and not one of them. You just want to create a for each loop, and out of the array element we want to get sorry, not yet, isInsideBounds that we just created. We want to branch. That way, if we are inside the bounds, it's going to set our gravity. And then if it's true, we want to drag off the array element again and set gravity. And we're just going to grab the get actor location again. This way it will set the point gravity that we used in the actor as this point will be the center of gravity. Then we just need to go inside the event graph, and you can use event tick, but I'm gonna do the timer version instead. Set timer by event. Let's do 0.01, and we want it to be looping. We're just gonna create a custom event, update gravity, and we just want to call set players gravity. Okay, we're all good on the blueprints. Now we're just going to go and edit our level. We're going to drag sphere in, and we need to scale it up some. Let's just set that all to 0. I'll make sure that's locked, and then we're going to set it to 25 just for demonstration purposes. And then we want to drag in the gravity bounds BP. I'm going to set its location to the same as the sphere we're using, and then we need to click bounds and scale it up to make sure it contains the entire planet. Okay, sorry, we missed one thing inside gravity bounds BP. We just need to go back and square the radius. Otherwise we're not checking the volume. And then if we go back, you can see that we can go all the way around the planet. You can see it's a little finicky when it comes to moving. That's partially just because it's such a small planet. There may be a few other small issues. Most of them just can't be helped, but I found that most of them tend to be smaller issues if you have a bigger sphere. So just keep that in mind. I hope that was helpful. If something was confusing, please let me know.